That said, the Chiefs did hold the Eagles to a field goal on the ensuing possession, which might have been all the proof that we needed that the fates had deigned for the Chiefs to win this game. Or maybe it was the scriptwriters. Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and it had to be the damn Chiefs, didn't it? Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy for really likable guys like Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, yes, Travis Kelce. I still like Travis Kelce, and some of the solid Kansas City Chiefs fans that I've come to know over the years. Oh, and Carlos Dunlap is a Super Bowl champion. I can find some happiness in that personally. But damn it, that also means Juju Smith-Schuster, Brittany Mahomes, Jackson Mahomes, and the litany of just god-awful Chiefs fans that exist in that fan base. We're also celebrating today, and that right there is what makes me so disgusted, and part of why I was rooting for the Eagles. Oh well though, despite Juju winning a ring, we'll always have this beautiful hit that signaled the beginning of the end in Pittsburgh. But before we get into breaking down Super Bowl 57, I'd just like to ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It really helps my channel out, and it helps you know when all of my content drops. Now, I'll tell you one thing, y'all. You absolutely have to give it up to the Chiefs for the grit and determination it took to overcome their less than ideal start in this one. I'll tell you one thing, I was personally looking forward to the Chiefs losing a game where the Eagles ended up getting some big calls and key moments so we could hear the Chiefs fans just gripe and moan all offseason, just like they did after the AFC Championship game last year. Despite calling out Bengals fans for being sore losers this year, which, some of them were, but the Chiefs fans did the same damn thing last year, and I was, kind of hoping that, we'd see it again so I could be like, see, I told you they were like this, but, we got what we got, and it's not all Chiefs fans, it's just some of y'all make an otherwise very likable squad very hateable, and it's just annoying, Early on, we saw the Eagles and Chiefs both putting up touchdowns on their first possessions of the game. I told everybody around me that this is going to be a super high scoring game at this point, judging by the way the defenses were playing, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Anyway, Chiefs missed a field goal, and the Eagles marched down the field for a touchdown. Chiefs went 3 and out, the Eagles started marching down the field again. Based on the way this game was going so far, it was starting to feel like the Eagles were really starting to seize the momentum and take control of this game. Then, Jalen Hurts inexplicably fumbled the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Nobody poked it out or anything, he just dropped it. Nick Bolton returned that fumble for a touchdown, and that was pretty much that. They got the ball back and confirmed that they were going on a good drive by going for a long, grinding touchdown on this one that they appeared to be putting together on the last drive, and finished the half, forcing the Chiefs to punt and knocking through a field goal, so now they're up 24-14. So I'm sure at this point you can see the difference that the fumble touchdown made in this game. I won't even call it a strip six though, because Hurts literally dropped the ball before anybody was even on him. But seriously, if that drive had ended with a touchdown for the Eagles instead of the Chiefs, then it could have been a 31-7 ball game at the half. And as gritty as tenacious as the Chiefs were to come back in this one, I don't think they would have overcome a 31-7 deficit. It's like, I wholeheartedly believe that if Hurts doesn't drop that ball, this Super Bowl ends in kind of like a boring blowout. Nobody's ever really going to remember it. They're just going to remember that the Eagles were a really good team this year. And it seems like he believes that too, though, because he was absolutely kicking himself for that fumble at the press conference. That's gotta absolutely suck, man. So the Chiefs did that thing that I've seen the Bengals do so many times in Joe Burrow's career, and that's stare a halftime deficit right in the face, knowing damn well they have the ball first in the second half, and laughing in the face of elimination. The Chiefs marched right down the field, and they scored a touchdown with the first possession of the second half. And by the way, I'm telling y'all, defense really did not make much of an appearance tonight outside of that fumble touchdown. That said, the Chiefs did hold the Eagles to a field goal on the ensuing possession, which might have been all the proof that we needed that the fates had deigned for the Chiefs to win this game. Or maybe it was the scriptwriters. I don't know, but finally somebody played some damn defense over an important drive, and that was pretty much it. The Eagles had to settle for a field goal, and the Chiefs, of course, took a lead with a touchdown on their next possession. The Eagles would never take another lead in this ballgame. They did get the ball back, but they went 3 and out, and the Chiefs got another touchdown on their next drive. Somebody, for the love of God, cover Travis Kelce and that TikTok guy. The Eagles finally managed to put some offense together on the next drive, and then they tied it up with a Jalen Hurts scramble for a 2-point conversion. But with 5 minutes left, the Chiefs get the ball in a tie ball game, and I think we all know how this script goes. The Chiefs were virtually unstoppable at following through with the famous words of their legendary coach, Hank Stram.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
They got the ball down to the Eagles' 15, where it did look like the Eagles had stopped them and forced the Chiefs to settle for a field goal. Then, for a second Super Bowl in a row, a game that was otherwise fascinating to watch was completely changed by an absolutely horrendous ticky-tacky defensive holding call. Like, to be clear, was this by the finest of technicalities defensive holding on James Bradbury? Yes, it technically was. But you're telling me that in the Super Bowl, we want the refs to be the stars of the game and put a black mark on an otherwise very popular game? Like, I agree with Kevin Burkhardt on this one. You kind of just have to let them play it out in this situation. Unless it's blatant and reckless and then you have to throw the flag. But why are we calling this penalty at this moment for a second Super Bowl in a row? It's just absolutely mind-boggling. Just absolutely infuriating. And by the way, that right there I think is a perfect example of why I don't think the NFL is rigged and why the whole scriptwriter thing is, that's a pretty obvious joke. I know there's a ton of money to be made in manipulating gambling lines and all that, but the NFL would have killed for this game to go into overtime. Honestly, the refs probably should have given the Eagles one last chance to extend this legendary game if you're looking at it from that perspective. But it didn't. It ended the way it ended, and now Patrick Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Let all the dunking on Aaron Rodgers commence. And oh boy, did people dunk on Rodgers after this one. But anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I'll feature the best ones in my next video, like this one from Teresa Turner, who said in my AFC Championship recap video, people saying Joe is better than Mahomes. Joe can't even come close to Mahomes. What? Mahomes has the hardware to prove how good he's been in just 5 games. But I do like your understanding of the game, and we here in KC knew he made a mistake. He was doing his job. If he pulled up Mahomes, would have not ran out of bounds, talking about Joseph Osai, of course, and gained more yards, but the Chiefs didn't score on any of those plays, and Mahomes' back was up against the wall. Lost 3 top receivers, and he was playing hurt. Mahomes has a heart for the game. And first of all, thank you for the kind words about my understanding of the game, Teresa, but I gotta say, this is the exact mentality that I'm trying to combat with Chiefs fans. Joe can't come close to Mahomes because Mahomes has the hardware. Like, do you realize Mahomes didn't win a Super Bowl until his 3rd season in the league? Like, that's incredible, by the way. I'm not trying to diminish, oh, only won a Super Bowl in his 3rd year in the league. And now he has a 2nd ring, and that's incredible, right? Like, good God, this guy is an absolute legend, and in no way, shape, or form am I trying to disrespect his legacy. But you're saying Joe Burrow isn't close when that dude went to the Super Bowl in his first full season in the NFL and went to the AFC Championship in his 2nd? Like, literally the only difference between these two right now is that Mahomes went the fuck off in the 4th quarter of Super Bowl 54 and got his team the win. Although, don't forget, he almost ruined their shot by throwing 2 interceptions on back-to-back drives in the 3rd quarter of that game. Joe had the game-winning throw to Jamar Chase ready to go in Super Bowl 56, but his trash-ass offensive line is what let him down. So not close, give me a break, man. Is Patrick Mahomes' legacy ahead of Joe Burrow's right now? Absolutely. But it's way closer than what you're giving credit for, and trying to say otherwise is a pretty ignorant thing to say, honestly. The rest of that comment, though, yeah, I mean, I agree. Patrick Mahomes is an absolute warrior. He's a legend. I haven't seen anybody with a heart for the game like that since Brett Favre. Joe has a lot of work to do if he wants to keep up with Mahomes. I fully recognize that if they don't get the job done in the next couple of years, you'll be totally right about that comparison not being close. But I think that you're completely forgetting that Mahomes has 2 extra seasons on Joe Burrow right now. I appreciate your insight, and more comments like that are very, very welcome. I appreciated like 90% of it, right? But not close. Give me a break, man. Anyway, that's all I got for this one, y'all. We are officially in the full swing of the NFL offseason, and I'm going to be putting out a lot of content this year. I think my next video is going to be a basic overview of, and we'll go more in depth later, right? But a basic overview of what I think makes sense for the Bengals offseason. And after that, I'll probably put out a projected power rankings for next year. But until then, y'all can always catch more of what I do at Kyle Phelps92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelps. Butt Fumble Sports, the Battle of Ohio podcast, which is on the Spot Pod Network, and right here if you subscribe. Like I said, that's it for this one though, y'all. As you know, I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie!